Good morning, hockey fans. This is Stephen Heisler with HeisHockey.com, Notorious Hockey Company, and the Junior Hockey Discussion Group on Facebook. You are watching the Junior Hockey Morning Show. We are on the World Sports Broadcasting Network, WSBN.TV, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Hopefully this morning you're watching in your office, in your car, if you're a player, possibly in the room, before training, before camp, or before practice this morning. You're going to the gym, wherever you are. Hope that you had an enjoyable weekend and are ready for another big week of junior hockey. Today's topic, the wrap. Kind of run through the leagues real quick from USHL, NA, BCHL, all the way over to Manitoba. Quick rundown. Relax, folks. It's way too early to get too excited about championship banners yet. Doesn't matter if your team is undefeated or winless. There's still a lot of hockey to be played between now and the end of the season. We are also about to see a ton of movement of players. Remember, players from any of the unsanctioned leagues that play games from October 1st forward, that was yesterday, are ineligible to play anywhere within Hockey Canada for the rest of the season. Yes, things are about to get interesting. We know that USHL teams probably have, on the average, 3 to 5 players each hanging around. Those kids will be dropped. We're going to the North American Hockey League fairly soon. Some of those kids will go back to AAA at 16 or 18. You have other kids that are out in the BCHL still hanging around trying to get a spot. It's funny, we're only at the first week of October, and a lot of those BCHL teams are only into their third game of the season. So we expect a lot of movement coming up here, especially in the next 7 to 10 days. Hockey Canada is also pushing the International Ice Hockey Federation to force the same rule that they have about non-sanctioned hockey leagues and teams. They want to force that on the federation to be across to include the entire spectrum of hockey around the world. That's under the federation's jurisdiction. If that happens, there are going to be a pile of changes to the level of play. So the junior level, as we see it this year, may be okay, but next year could be an absolute bomb. Especially if these kids that are playing in non-sanctioned leagues, they figure out that, you know what, if I go there, that promise of moving up to the NEHL or get that opportunity probably won't be there. They'll be pushing you exclusively to the NCDC. And that's okay if that's what you want to do. The BCHL is a different animal. I'm sure that they'll be kids are always going to have the option of going from there into the NCDC or the USPHL. I think very few, if any, will ever go out and play in that Greater Metro Hockey League. So we'll see what happens in the next 12 months. I expect to see some kind of rule coming down from the International Hockey Federation probably within the next 3 weeks. Let's start out with the United States Hockey League. The Madison Capitals have wins in all 3 of their games they have played to date and remain atop the division as the reward for that effort. The Fargo Force has done the same thing over in the Western Division. In the NAHL, the Austin Bruins are on top of the Central Division for the second straight week. Austin is technically tied with Bismarck, who have played 2 more games. Both of those were losses. The Maryland Black Bears are a point ahead of the Northeast Generals in the race for supremacy in the East Division. Words cannot accurately describe how bad the Danbury hat tricks looked in Saturday's loss at Maryland. It looked like a 3HL game. It was not good. Shot count was dramatic in favor of Maryland. The Janesville Jets continue their reign in the Midwest Division with a 5-2-2-0 record over the first 9 games of the season. Janesville appears to be in full flight. The Springfield Blues, however, are winless in 8 games, while owner Dan Ferguson is being accused of trying to micromanage the team. Current head coach Todd Pukaki, God, I blew that one, Todd. I'm sorry, buddy. Could find himself on the outside looking in if things don't turn around in a hurry. As of right now, and only on paper, the best team in the South appears to be the El Paso Rhinos. Don't put that record under any kind of microscope. The showcase win over Janesville was impressive enough. The 3 wins at the Colorado Grit to open the season and split at Corpus Christi Ice Race is not doing much for me either. British Columbia Hockey League, Cam Keefe Surrey Eagles are leading the way in the Coastal Division. The Nanaimo Clippers are just a single point behind with 1 extra game played. Things are a bit tighter over in the interior, where Salmon Arm and West Kelowna are on top of the heap with identical 3-1-0 records. The apparently doomed Marist Centennials are already looking cemented at the bottom of the standings, where they were most of the last 2, 3, 4 years. In the Alberta Junior Hockey League, in a shocking turn of events, the Brooks Bandits have already climbed to their usual position atop the AJHL standings. You're going to want to keep an eye on the Calgary Canucks. They've been playing very good hockey and look like they're the team that's going to challenge Brooks this year. That remains to be seen. Maybe it's just early season. They have some advantages, but right now, Calgary looks very difficult to beat. Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League, the Melfort Mustangs and Humboldt Broncos are the SJHL's only undefeated teams after the eventful weekend. The Flin Flon Bombers and Weyburn Red Wings are also undefeated in regulation play, but both have losses in extra time. Manitoba Junior Hockey League, the Dauphin Kings and Winkler Flyers are both undefeated after a trio of games. The Flyers have already built up a plus 14 goal differential as of Sunday afternoon. I want to touch on one other subject before we go this morning. Post-game meals. Got a picture from one game that happened Saturday. Post-game meal was a bunch of pizzas. The pizzas are all pretty much sliding all over the pizza box. Looked like the pizza carrier might have been carrying it like a book. Wasn't a good look. Anyway, I get it. Pizzas are fast. You can jump on the bus and run home. And that's maybe it's okay for the second game before you jump on the bus, or maybe you're going to get a sandwich. But let's really consider these things. You got the kids that are out there pretty much just busting their butt all night long. And they're out there entertaining your fans. You're selling tickets. You're selling beer. You're selling concessions. And you're going to reward these guys with a substandard meal. It's not a good look. So I'm going to challenge the North American Hockey League and every league across the continent to turn in your post-game meal pictures. Let's see what you got. Let's see what league really cares about their players the most. Let's see what league consistently provides a better developmental opportunity and cares about their kids even off the ice, not just what happens during the games. That's it for today. Hope that you enjoy your morning coffee and have a